Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Next up in our inbox reviews, we have AMT's old 71 Duster 340. Now, I have already built this. I kind of built this kit a long time ago. I was younger when it first came out, and it was Scale Auto Enthusiast or Fine Scale Model. Actually, I think it was both. Did a review on this, a build review, and people talk a lot of trash about AMT kits. They'll even talk trash about this thing now, but back then, this, the people who talk trash now talked, about how this kit was just beyond amazing. It was amazing. It was great. It was fantastic. And you know what? The kit is great and fantastic. This is actually going to end up being a subject of a step-by-step build video. It is not quite going to be stock. I'm going to do some modifications to it. Mostly wheels and tires, stance, and that's about it. Maybe a little bit more, but generally that's it. Maybe engine. But this is a wonderful kit. So we're going to go ahead and I haven't actually gone through and looked at this like that. I built it before. I do have one that is almost complete in Panther Pink. My son built this kit and he didn't use the decals. The decals are not printed as good as they used in the original run of this kit. They really kind of suck. So I'm going to actually, mine flaked apart. I'm going to use his decals. I'm not going to remove mine. I'm trying to go right over the top of them. It should be okay. That way if his flake off, I at least still have something. That being said, let's go ahead and get started on this bad boy. Let's see what we got. Come on. There we go. So, let's start firstly here. Let's go ahead and let's see if we can't get this this bag open somehow. Let me see if I got my knife here. I was just using it a minute ago. Oh, yep, there it is. This is my knife that is just as sharp as the X-Actos. As you'll hear me say in other videos. I hope I still have enough light here, because I turned the light off so you wouldn't get any glare from the box. As you can see, that's pretty damn sharp. Here, let's go ahead and let's do one light. How's that? So just ignore the glare off of that, I guess. We'll put that right there. Alright, and we'll put stuff in the box lid as we're done. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and we'll leave that open for now, and I will go ahead and grab this as a pointer. Alright, typical bamboo skewer. So, front K-member is a separate piece, nicely molded. It is a little bit old, so there is some flash on that that's going to have to get cleaned up. Springs are nice surface detail on the outside, but oddly enough, and this is a different back then, I believe, too. Actually, I believe these used to have individual spring pack detail, but a lot of people whined and complained that it didn't narrow up like it was supposed to. So they narrowed it, and in the process, the side spring detail is gone. Here are the spindles right here. Not quite in line, but you could get away with flipping them to lower it. I'm not sure. I don't know. I will either make new ones, or more likely, I will just end up making a lowering sprocket for it. Or not sprocket, but kind of like an adapter that'll just raise the wheel up on there. Not as effective on the rear because of where the axle's at, but very effective on the front, because it makes it look like a drop spindle. You can't really tell. Here are the shock mounts, separate pieces that go on there. They actually look pretty good. Interestingly, though, they lack U-bolt detail, which is kind of strange. You could drill that and add U-bolts to that, or not necessarily even the U-bolt. I mean, you could around the axle. We'll get to the axle, see if they're on there, but at least some bolt head detail. The hood looks good here. There's some ejector pin marks, but they're out here. I don't know if you can see those on camera or not, but they are out here. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So actually fairly easy to remove. Now, these, on the other hand, not so easy to remove. Those are the holes to drill for if you want the hood scoops. Not so easy to remove, but still possible. And then you have your front anti-roll bar or sway bar, depending on the nomenclature that you use. Again, it's nice, nicely done, but age the kit, a lot of flash. Next sprue here, we have air conditioning hose. Always, nice to see there. Upper radiator hose. We have, I don't remember what that part is. I don't know what that goes to. That's a good question. We'll have to look that up. Stock air cleaner. If I use the factory engine, I will not be using this air cleaner. Steering wheel, backer steering wheel. It actually looks pretty cool. Kind of little generic looking, but I believe this is what the real one looks like. Interestingly enough, it has the finger grooves on the back. The steering column looks pretty decent. It has a rudimentary, very rudimentary ignition slot there, but with a little bit of work on some, a knife, maybe a file or two, you can actually make that look a lot better with very little effort if you were so inclined. Here's the master cylinder. Clean up the flash. It's got some nice details. You can easily drill out those to add brake line detail. It does have the metal tie-down clip, so you can detail paint that. Here we have the windshield wiper motor. Looks decent. Over here is the 3 pieces for the wing. You can glue those in however you like if you even want to use it. These are keyed right here. I don't know if you can see that on this camera. I will eventually get a better camera. I have a good camera, I just have no way to, because my tripod is over there, and I have this, actually, I'm using an older GoPro. I don't know what happened to my newer ones. Ex-wife stole them, pawned them. Yeah, she cheated, and she's the one that steals all the crap. But I have a GoPro pole that I could extend out to 3 feet. It's not that 3-4 feet. It's not that far away. It's like 20 inches or so. But my camera, I don't have a way to actually turn it. And I have a digital SLR that I could use, but I have no way to really use it. It will not fit on. Yeah, I could 3D print an adapter, and actually I have an adapter somewhere. I could use it on the GoPro stuff, but this arm is not going to hold the weight. I either need a better GoPro, or I need to find a different way to set this up. But with the camera and the lenses, no way. I have a smaller one. That's a lighter weight. Another digital SLR. It's a lot lighter weight that might be able to be put on here. But again, I don't have the adapter, and I don't know where it's at. And again, those they will not accept external power. Strangely enough, so I can't have it plugged in. I'm limited to whatever the battery life is on the video. So, but if I can get find another one of these GoPros, a little bit newer one. This is an older one. This is actually a Hero 4 Black. If I could get a hold of even a 7 again, that would be great. But anyway, these are. Yeah, I'd love to get a hold of 4K again. I miss doing stuff in 4K. These here, there is some flash on the exhaust. This is the exhaust portion that you want to work on first. It goes under the rear axle. Just a flash, but it's actually fairly round, which is good. Here we have, if you want to, now if I'm going to use anything for the air cleaner, it's probably going to be this setup here. The Tri-Power, or 6-pack as they call it. The wheel backs have nice detail on them for drum brakes. not for. But the funny part is all 4 wheels are set up for a rear wheel assembly. You can see there's the 4 pins, so they're not appropriate for the front. So I would recommend, filing down some of that detail that you can, and actually just putting a plastic disc over it for the front versions, and that's really it. That'll make it look a little. It won't be perfect, but it'll at least make it look a little bit better. You can paint that disc silver to simulate a brake disc. While maybe not 100% accurate, it's going to be better than having rear axle detail on a front axle or on front kingpins. It's just it's kind of silly. I mean, there's the wheel cylinder that's supposed to spread the brakes out, but aside from, they are nicely detailed though. The carburetors actually are not too bad. They're kind of a little funky when they go together, but it's really not that big a deal. They go together okay. They look fine when they're done, but they're going to be covered up with this anyway. Having this is nice. You could drill that out and just have this, without the carburetors on it, as if somebody's doing work. Just sand those flats so they look like they're machined. It would be better to have holes there, but I mean, come on. It would be unreasonable to expect them to put that kind of detail there, but you can do it. Here are heater hoses, which is not fairly common on a kit this age. They have flash, needs to be cleaned up, but they're well done. They do fit. Lower radiator hose, or yes, I believe that's the lower one, or probably not. That's probably just to go from the intake to the water pump. Seats are actually very well done. The seat backs don't fit very great. They kind of suck, but they look nice. There's some flash on the side that needs to be cleaned up. I'm not going to take the glass out, but the taillights actually do fit the body okay. The windows fit the body okay, and there is they have good positive location for the windows here. They stick through like they're supposed to. The headlights have really nice detail. It would be better if they were on the inside rather than the outside, because the backside is flat. But it is what it is. I mean, look at it still looks really nice. If you paint the back in silver, it will look really good. The rest of them, I mean, they're just windows, and they are very nicely done. They fit well. Absolutely no complaints there on those. I know I've done it. The tires are updated now. They have better tread than they used to, and I can't see any mold seams there. The tread looks great. The tires are pad printed, not tampo. These are pad printed, and they are. You can actually see them really, really well. I'm going to try them. Goodyear Polyglass GT. You know what? Let me see. Let me get one. Let me get one out of here. Let's see if I can get it up on the camera for you. Yeah, I know. My knife was right there. Whatever. So let me see if I can get that, how legible that is for you. Maybe that'll help. Goodyear Polyglass GT. I know it doesn't look like much in the video, but trust me, you can. Even I swear to God, I'm half blind, but I can read these beautifully. The fidelity of the printing is just phenomenal, and as you can see, there's no mold seams on here. I think that's because they get the mold seams right down in here, and then they do a really good job cleaning them up. Just fantastic job on the tires, AMT. I mean, you could release these separately, and people would buy these if they were smart. These are that well done. They're beautiful. We're going to set that to the side. We'll get to that in a minute. Alright. Let's go ahead and let's do this properly now. Yeah, I know it did stupid before, but it is what it is. So. Alrighty. What do we have? Okay, there we go. Cross it off to the side. Now, the front subframe actually looks really decent. Some people prefer these molded separately. I don't. I like the upper ones molded in place because the upper ones are what set your ride height, and it's too get rid of those. Those are annoying me. It's too hard to get them not quite perfect and end up with a end up with that winded paw look. Here's like the drive shaft hoop type thing, goes right there, which is kind of nice. You don't have to try and finagle the engine in there, and so you can put it on back blast, which is exactly what I'm going to do because I might end up not using the engine that's in the kit. I probably will, but it's also a definite possibility I won't. Very nicely done. The K member fits throughout, really well. I just wish there was a better way to actually get it to fit down into the chassis after it's painted. This here, the firewall is nicely detailed. There's no ejector pin marks, no flash. It's got good detail. Yeah, bolt heads are round rather than, hexagonal. You know what? It's an old kit. Who cares? A little bit of flash around the water pump timing cover and harmonic balancer, but it looks really good. The fan looks incredible. The alternator looks like a Chrysler alternator. Little tip, let me see if they have one on the chrome tree. There isn't. Okay, that's fine. After you paint this silver, flood a little red inside in the recesses, and then you can dry brush silver back over the top. But the reason why is so on Chrysler alternators, the windings are red, and you can clearly see them. So doing that, you'll actually simulate the red windings inside, and it looks really good. Other alternators are like a coppery gold color, so just heads up to make it look decent. I believe this is for the rear of the car. Fits pretty good. It's rear or front, I can't remember. Here's your core support. Dashboard. They have the proper dashboard in there. You're not gonna. There's no engraving. There's no like numbers or anything, and that's to be. You're not. Let's face it. You're not gonna make those legible anyway. The pedals are molded, integrally molded, and still look pretty damn good. Here's your inspection cover over the flywheel. Again, this is another one of those kits where it's not a generic oil pan, but it's actually contoured properly to the real car. Your standard Chrysler exhaust manifolds. Here's your heads with some very rudimentary rocker arm details. Though it's kind of nice to see that, but that is so rudimentary. I wouldn't even bother with it, to be honest. Just put your valve covers on. Speaking of valve covers, those are very nice. That looks really good. The fidelity on that is good enough to hand paint. Got other, like your horns here. I have no clue what that is. That looks like the starter, actually. Oil filter? No. I'm not sure what that is right now. Your distributor right there. Basic stock. Intake manifold, stock Chrysler, or rather Carter AFB, which you could make up to look like an Edelbrock. They're basically the same design. Here's actual ignition coil. Yeah, you're not going to throw an ignition wire in there, but you could modify that to be able to do so. Same thing with the distributor, unless you're really good and you actually have stuff that slips over those and you can stick the ignition wire in those, and yes, that would actually represent like spark plug bleeds. Those would actually probably work really good. And over here, the rear axle is Pretty nice. To me, it looks almost like a 9-inch Ford 9, but that is Chrysler, old school Chrysler. Drive shaft looks, it's passable. It's got the steering shaft. The shocks look pretty decent. The exhaust looks decent too. It's got the exhaust clamps there. Just some flash needs to be cleaned up. Nothing horrendous. Right here we have this little flash here on all of this stuff needs to be cleaned up. These seats look really nice too. The texture on all the seats is amazing. Hood scoops, if you want to put those on. The battery actually, aside from being a little shallow, actually looks really, really, really good. There is even, so you have the battery clamps there. You also have the battery wires there. So pick what's what, or shave them off if you're going to actually add the full battery wiring. But it actually looks really friggin' good. Door panels are kind of lackluster, but there isn't a lot of stuff on the real ones anyway, so that's okay. I mean, when I say lackluster, I mean there's not a whole lot there. You have your basic door panel, you have your window cranks, you have your armrests, you got, you know, your cards there intact, those. You have the nice plates there. You have that, whatever that is. And your window cranks, what's really cool, look at this. Your window cranks are not in the same position. Which that kind of adds, people go, oh, it should look symmetrical. What? Why? It's never symmetrical on the real car. So it actually, you know, it looks more realistic. Let me see if I can get this up here. So you have, you know, right there. They're never going to be, you know, perfectly the same on each side in a real car. So I like to see that. That's actually really nice. But you can say the doors lack detail, but really they don't. That's literally like everything that's there on the real car. It's not that big a deal. In fact, those will clean up and look phenomenal. Owners of the real thing will recognize that. You know, we'll go through this too. We'll just put it back in. Like I said, sharp. The chrome on this is fantastic. Yeah. Overdone chrome. Okay, strip it and paint it and make it with silver paint. And then it doesn't look like chrome. It looks like silver paint. So it does look like real chrome. Just, you know, show chrome, granted. The grill is nice. Now the grill should actually not be chrome. That should actually be an argent silver, with chrome tops in some spots. 2 different shades of silver. Now, if you can see, you can't see this in the video. I'll try to show it. You can kind of see how there's like a little. Those are like your turn signals. So you'll have to get out your micro paint brushes or your toothpicks, and you can paint the turn signals on those. You know, with your magnifiers. Here's the exhaust trumpets. Unfortunately, I mean, these are, I mean, you can just paint the ends black. Unfortunately, the sink marks kind of ruin them. So that's a blooming shame. But this, again, I'd replace that with some wire. But it's passable. Mirrors, I mean, the connection points are so big. Those are not gonna look right. But I mean, you can always do body color mirrors too. The wheels are quite good if you actually detail. If you get the black and all the recesses there, do a wash up here. Paint, leave that in that chrome color, or actually leave this in the chrome color. Do this in silver, and this in an ardent silver, and these actually end up looking really good. It's just the outer ring here that you leave chrome, and they actually end up looking like factory Chrysler rally wheels. They actually look quite good when done. It can be a bit of a pain sometimes to paint them, however, but a little patience, little tenacity, you'll get it. They're not difficult. Let's go ahead. Let's pull out the instructions and decals, and then we'll check the body. Interestingly, they're using that. But okay. These actually look to be in better shape than the last ones. So this is not white and that is clear, if I remember correctly. The 340 decals look great on the car, especially if you paint the hood. They're actually surrounded in white, so if you paint the hood the flat black, these look fantastic. To me, my opinion, this car looks best in either Panther Pink or the Sublime Green. I'm not sure what I'm going to do decal white. I'm going to actually put I am going to do it kind of like a Pro Touring. I haven't decided whether or not I'm going to put decals on there. If so, probably only be a hood decal and not much else. You have your Duster 340 right there. You have your six packs decals, your 340 badges, your little Duster 340 badges. You have a bunch of different license plates. You have some Florida stuff, generic Florida, and you have Michigan Duster plates. My wife absolutely loved that because she's from Michigan. They now have these decals here for your marker lights. After doing those, I would just put a little clear over them just to make them, look shinier. Like maybe put some epoxy, like clear resin or something over it, make them look good. Generic, license plates down here that are, like showroom license plates. They're not going to be legal. They won't represent anything, legal for any states out there, unfortunately. But that's all right. It's your car, do as you please. And then 3 Plymouth decals right there. So those look pretty good. This decal sheet looks to be printed better than the last one, which crumbled on me, flaked. So I may end up putting the 340 decal from this on onto that car once it's done. It's close to done. It's Panther Pink. The decals, you have your your tips for assembly. Here's your painting guide. It should be relatively accurate-ish. Over here we have, there we go. I'm going to have to get some kind of diffuser to do something with the light here, I think. Let me try turning this back off here. Let's see if that helps. Not as much light as you would like, but I mean, this camera really sucks for this. But you have engine assembly here, and it goes on to your belts, whatnot. Your starter is step 3. That's your own, but it gives the detail painting for the starter body and the engagement. Or is that the oil? That's a good question. Might be the oil filter. D, paint code D and AA. So D is white and AA is Chrysler red. So yes, that is your oil filter. My bad. Why they have it mounted sideways? That should be rotating, aiming down, I believe. I would actually have to check the real thing. I think the 340 was different than their 318s and 360s. I think the block was different because I know at least on the 318, the starter is on the other side. I know I've had to do one. Sold my Jeep with a 318, and literally 10 minutes after I sold it the third time they tried to start it, the starter took a dump. Never had any problems. So I mean, we went down, they bought a starter, I threw it in, no cost. It goes on, here's it focuses on all the engine stuff. Here's your factory for your plain Jane. Here's your 6-pack. Here's the rest of it going together. It's a pretty simple but effective. Step number 7 is your front chassis assembly or subframe. Interesting enough, so You actually have to go this way to finish off your seats there for 8 and 9. 10, 11 shows your wheel assemblies. I really have no... Everything's the same. I guess the wheel backs, there's a... I don't know why there's 2 different part numbers for the wheel backs, because they're all identical. Maybe the width, but no, I really don't think so. They're all 4 the same. So you can just kind of ignore that. Measure them if you want, just in case. The dash, actually, with some detail painting and dry brushing, looks pretty decent. Come back over, then there's, assembly, the major sub-assemblies, and your exhaust. Yeah, if somebody doesn't know how to, I don't know if you can hear them outside the car alarm horn. Somebody doesn't, know what they're doing or something, I have no clue. Getting kind of annoying, but it is what it is. Right here, the shocks and everything should look pretty good once it's all together. I may leave stock ride height in the back, just lower the front, kind of give it a rake. I don't know yet, I haven't figured it out. Final assembly of the interior and your steering shaft there. And then you will put in your firewall and then put your interior in. Obviously, I would not put the steering shaft in right here, because you are going to break that off in step 18. Put it in after that's all in. Use a pair of tweezers, something, because this is not, it's going to break off trying to get past that, or get this glued up with that something. It's not going to work. You'll break it. Shocks, wow, that is not a fun shock to try and put in. And then there's, the rest of the stuff you're putting on top after you get the body in. So your windshield washer, reservoir there, and everything. Here's your AC hoses, AC compressor, heater hoses. Putting on the grill, that one piece that was for the front. Definitely paint that in argent silver with chrome outside edge. Fill the black in between, and then don't forget to paint your turn signals there with a toothpick. I will probably, I like that hood, I might do that. But I probably won't do the scoops. But I have done the black hood with the 340 decal. It was beautiful. Looked great. Now let's go on and finish the last part here. And we'll just go like this, and we'll... Yep, see? But I don't, like I said, I'm going to end up replacing this tabletop after we get a house. I'm going to do a nice, probably a walnut epoxy. I got to do all the counters in here too, because they fell apart within like 3 months. They're just particle board coated in vinyl. I'm going to redo both countertops, sink tops, and this table, all probably in a nice dark gobi walnut and epoxy, black epoxy. And it's a real classy look, and I'm going to redo all the paneling in here too, because the paneling is just, the dark paneling is fine, the light paneling is not what's supposed to be in here. Anyway, I'm going to do a different pattern. The floors floors are nice, the dark paneling is nice and actual wood. I'm going to do the surround of the slide out in probably that same gobi walnut and black epoxy, but anyway, that's not, yeah. Anyway, so let's go ahead and move on. The floor of the body, I'm not going to call it a chassis because it's not, because these were unibody cars. This is all part of the body except for these. That's subframe. They're part of the floor, don't get me wrong, but it's subframe. They're separate pieces and then attached, but they're not bolted on, they're not removable on the real car. So this is all one piece with this. This is all all one piece. This is one body structure. Just like that Honda Civic in your driveway or something. Yes, I have a Honda Civic in my driveway right now. It's not mine. It belongs to the dealership. It's on loan. There's where your steering shaft. You might be able to actually get away with connecting that. I would actually have to look. You might get away with it. I don't know yet. If you can, great. I would actually have to look at how the firewall goes in there. It might have the little cutout for that. If it does, by all means, go ahead and put that steering shaft in there, because yeah, that's going to be a pain in the butt. Nice detail on this. You can see, turn the light back on, maybe you can see this. God, there's a lot of glare. So that is right here. You can see scratch marks like that, and you can feel them too. Something was there and they removed it on the mold. Same here, same scratch, and something was there in the mold and it was removed. I had the original issue of the kit, and that was not there. I don't remember what was there, however. That right there, it looks like a seam, but that's actually supposed to be there on the real car. They actually got that intact. This stuff here is kind of like, your undercoating, I believe. All the rest is just stiffening, molding into the pan, the floor pan. The body is really good. Somebody mentioned, oh, the shape's not quite right, or it's not perfect. You're never going to get it perfect. This, kind of the same front, looks, on Dodge, it kind of looks stupid, in my opinion. But it is what it is. Ain't no thing. Body's not perfect. Yeah, there's a slight bow out that way, maybe. Of course, that could be me. There's a brace that will have to be removed prior to painting. There are some mold seams here that you'll have to sand down. They are, right along here, going up just like you would expect. It's not a big deal. Just get them sanded off. Sand the bottom edges here, get everything glued up. You can glue that front piece in. You don't have to glue that on separately. This will go right down over the unibody chassis pan and everything, and it looks great. So you're not going to have to worry about that at all. It'll be a little fiddly. Get you back in first, and it's a little fiddly, but man, it's a kit. What do you expect? It is what it is. It's a nice kit. I enjoy building it. This one I'm going to do, custom style. I'm going to customize the crap out of it. I'm not going to do it stock like the other one. I do want to get another one of these though, and just do it stock, but do it box stock, just right out of the box. Don't, no additions, no nothing, just a nice shelf model. And I want to do it in sublime green for my wife. She loves, I love green too, but do it. She likes green and white because, she's from Michigan, and she likes whichever. I'm not going to say, oh, state of Michigan or Michigan State. I don't know which team is which, what their colors are, and I don't really care. Don't follow sports. But she likes the green and white. My favorite color happens to be green as well, but I think that green, but instead of the black stripes, go white, and I think she would really love it. And so that's probably what I'm going to end up doing. This is also going to be on a straight up build video as well, starting really soon. That being said, I'll leave this up here for now. So, again, nice kit. Don't pay the $40 for it or whatever. Wait till it goes on sale at Hobby Lobby with the 40% off. Remember, that 40% off sale is every other week. I do like Hobby Lobby. I like a lot of what they stand for and everything. It's just, you might not or whatever, and that's, that's the great thing about living here in this great country. But I do, I like Hobby Lobby a lot. And the other thing is they're really the only option I've got. Everything else is more than an hour away. And I have two shops about an hour and a half away. I have a hobby town and a up in Seattle. Very great hobby town. If they screw up and they have the wrong tag, or they buy it, and they have the wrong tag on the box, they honor the tag on the box. Hobby town of Bremerton, Silverdale does not. They say, well, we don't really care. We got that from another hobby town, and it's been sitting there for 20 years. We want to raise the price on it. Now, honor what's on the box, or get out of business. So I don't go there anymore. The other, yeah, and I'll be reporting them to Hobbytown because that's actually a violation of their corporate franchise agreement. And so, yeah, don't go to that one. It's a really bad shop for that. Their selection is mediocre anyway. But yeah, avoid them. Now, Hobby Lobby, the other one I go to in Seattle, it's a really bad neighborhood. Unfortunately, it's the Skyway neighborhood of Renton, which is a very, 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 very bad high crime area. But it's pretty sad when a model store has to have bars on all the windows and everything else, and can only be open for like 4 or 5 hours a day, like 4 days a week. They're not open very long. It irks the heck out of me, but in fairness, I completely understand it because he's open during the hours of, less crime. About a half hour to an hour after he closes is about what time the criminals start coming out, and all the prostitutes and the gangbangers and the drug dealers start roaming the streets. And no, police won't do anything. Drugs are legal here. So anyway, that is it's called Skyway Model Shop in Renton, Washington. It'll be listed on Seattle most likely. I believe he will actually ship to you as well. He's got a lot of vintage kits that are way out of production. I've got many of them here. My son buys them there too. He buys collections of kits too. But if you're in the area on a visit out here and you need modeling supplies too, go check him out. He's got a lot of rare kits. He's got a lot of sales going on all the time, and he's got a ton of building supplies that you don't find other places. And I do mean a ton. He's got resin kits for tanks and airplanes. He's got photo etch kits. He's got wheels. He's got just tons of stuff. He's a little odd, kind of an odd guy, but you know what? That's okay. We're all a little bit odd. He's a really nice guy. And sometimes he had his critters in there. He's got his doggos. And, but his dogs are friendly. They're not, in the way. They're not barkers. They just kind of wander around. They're good dogs. They'll sniff you a little bit, but that's about it. If you want to scratch, give them a little scratch, go ahead. Like my wife sure does. And yeah, no, stop and check them out. Either Skyway or the Hobby Town, if you're ever out here. The guys at the Hobby Town are, in Seattle are really good. The owner of Skyway Models is really good. They close at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So like I said, early, but I mean, the area, man, you don't want to try getting out of there and, getting robbed. It's not good. But overall, yeah, no, it's a great little shop. Fun to mess with. Lots of kits. So anyway, I will quit rambling on here, and I want to thank you for watching, and please like and subscribe. I will do my best. I'm working on trying to get a different camera setup, or being able to set up my digital SLR up here, but so much of my stuff is in storage. I think my cameras were I think my other GoPros were stolen. I don't know. The newest I have access to is this Hero 4, and it's not great. I don't even have an extra cell phone that I could stick up here and use its abilities, unfortunately. I wish I did, but I don't. So anyway, I want to thank everybody for watching. And please hit that like and subscribe button, and have yourself a wonderful afternoon.